Have you ever shown up to someone's house, knocked on the door, and they wouldn't answer? You see the lights on, you know that they're home, but for some reason, they won't let you in. Now imagine if that happened to Jesus. What if I told you there is a verse in the Bible where Jesus is standing outside the door, he's knocking, not on the heart of a stranger, but on the door of his church. Welcome back to the Passage Unlocked. We attempt to unlock the Bible one verse at a time. My name is Jim Murrell, and today we're going to be discussing a context found in Revelation 3 and verse 20, diving in it because it is one of the most misquoted verses of all the Bible. Let's read it together. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and dine with him, and he with me. Revelation 3 and verse 20. Now, this verse is often used in sermons, devotionals, and typically directed at non-Christians, right? Open your heart to Jesus. Let him in and be saved, the message says. Now, that message is important, but in the context, it's not even close to what Jesus is saying. Now, to understand this passage, context is the key. Revelation 3 and verse 20 is a part of a letter that Jesus sent to a church, specifically the church at Laodicea. Let me remind you what he said just a few verses earlier. Because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will vomit you out of my mouth. Revelation 3:16. Again, the same context. This church was rich, self-satisfied, and spiritually blind. They had everything they wanted except the one thing they truly needed. And here's the heartbreaking part. They didn't even realize that Jesus wasn't among them anymore. Now let's break this verse down into three powerful truths. Number one, the position of the Savior. He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Jesus is standing there outside the church, not inside. He's not being worshiped, he's not being honored, and he's not even being acknowledged. He's not barging in, though. He's just knocking. He shows his humility and his patience. He's waiting. He's pleading for someone to realize that he's not in their midst and to let him in. How tragic is that? The head of the church left outside the building that bears his name. Number two, the plea of the Savior. He said, if anyone hears my voice and opens the door, Jesus doesn't just knock, he calls out. But the question is, are we listening? He says, if anyone hears, meaning if the whole church ignores him, if just one person will respond, he'll come in. That's personal. That's powerful. That's grace. Number three, the promise of the Savior. I will come in and dine with him. In Bible times, to dine with someone meant more than just sharing a meal. It symbolized fellowship, intimacy, and true relationship. Jesus is promising here not just to visit, but to stay. This isn't just about forgiveness, it's about friendship. He wants to be close to his people again. Now, here are three things you can do right now to make sure Jesus is welcome in your life and in your church. Number one, evaluate the atmosphere of your worship. Ask honestly, is Jesus the center of everything in your congregation, or has he quietly been pushed out? Are you honoring him with your lips, but keeping him out of your hearts? Number two, open the door with obedience. Opening the door means responding, not just listening. Let Jesus guide your thoughts, your decisions, and your daily walk. Let him back in by making your life revolve around his word. Number three, invite him back every day. Jesus isn't just someone you let in once. You keep the door open every day through prayer, through study, through personal devotion. Talk with him, dine with him, and walk with him. You know, if we're honest, we talk a lot about the world rejecting Jesus, but how tragic it is when the church is the one who shuts the door. Don't let your heart become Laodicean. Don't let your church building become where Jesus is absent. Let him be in there. Remember, he's still knocking.